So today's topic is integrated circuit biasing. So this is new chapter 10, and so we have studied biasing in electronics 1 a little bit. Now this biasing we need to study in integrated circuit. So also so what is integrated circuit? For example, this is one Intel chip, which is integrated circuit. Inside there is a integrated circuit. This is the top side, and there is a bottom side. You see there are many pin out to connect, and also if you look at magnify, there are also little bit discrete resistance or capacitance. So these are but on the top inside this one, there are many transistor, millions of transistor inside. So if you going through this, so this is one Intel Pentium chip layout. So although this is not visible, there are all connections, transistor, resistor, and so on. So if you look at the smaller circuit layout, so this is some smaller circuit. So there is some biasing circuit inside. There are many transistors. So it is drawn on the we call layout based on this layout. So and also there is some amplifier circuit, and this is some, and these are the connection between all the transistor, and also there are some other transistor circuit. So that means all the circuits are connected so very nicely through on the same base we call wafer, and then it is, and now we make it very small and very compact. So now, so when last time we have studied this circuit, and this circuit R1 and R2 are biasing element, and this one for bias stability. So stability. So then question arises, why we need this biasing circuit or the biasing network R1, R2? Because in order, transistor can be operated in the amplifier region or the switching as a switch or other. So therefore, we need to set our operating point. So what is operating point? Last time in your earlier, you have considered this is the characteristic curves. So IB 1, 2, 3, and this is BC, and this is IC. And we have load line, and we set the bias point at the middle, so that this is ICQ and VCEQ. So we set this bias point, Q point, based on this R1 and R2 so network. So this is voltage divider network. So based on this voltage divider network. But if you use R1 and R2 only without RE, then this Q point may be shifted due to temperature or due to the change of the supply voltage or some other reason. So if the movement of due to variation of voltage or some other variation, if the Q point variation is too much, is not that desirable. So in order to minimize this variation, we need to use RE so that when the supply voltage change, this Q point is not that much varied. So because if we use RE, then we have RC plus RE. This variation is reduced due to introducing of RE. So therefore, we need this R1, R2 for biasing for Q. For stable, we need to add RE. So now for this, now we need R1 and R2. We need to make it very, very large, so that this resistance R1, R2, there is minimum current is flowing through this R1 and R2. And also we need to minimize the power loss. So, and also this R1, R2, this very large resistance, if we need to fabricate in very large resistance in integrated circuit, so usually we use some polysilicon layer to make it resistance. So for this area, the polysilicon length is small, so resistance is very low. So in order to increase, we need to increase the size of this length. So now if we make a very large resistance, then our area is going to increase. But our target for integrated circuit designer, we need to reduce the area, and also we need to reduce the power. We need these two requirements: low power and less area. So in order to satisfy this, so we don't use R1 and R2 resistance, passive resistance. We are going to use active resistance. Active resistance. So using transistor and MOSFET. So, and also as I mentioned, we need this biasing current, ICQ, which is basically we need ICQ. Now, if we need ICQ, so instead of replacing this R1, R2, and RE, we can easily apply current source. So VCC or C. So now, if we apply current source, this current source will provide us this biasing current. If this current source provides biasing current, then we don't need R1, R2, and RE, because we are providing using this. So because we can generate this current source very easily, so that is why in integrated circuit, when biasing in integrated circuit means we need to design a current source in integrated for biasing network. So now go back. So now, as I mentioned, we need the current source for integrated circuit biasing. But here we have the current mirror and sink. Let us see what this means. A current source or mirror have 3 terminals. This is 1, 2, 3. The common terminal is connected to ground, power supply or ground, and the input current source is connected to input terminal. So this current is coming to this. The output current is equal to, this output current is equal to input current or multiplied by some current gain. If we consider current amplified. If the A is equal to 1, then input current is equal to output current is equal to input current. This case, this is known as current mirror. So current mirror is what we have giving in supply to input, we are getting this output current. So now the connection can be either source or either sink. If the input current is coming through power supply and delivered to this circuit, current mirror circuit, this is known as source. Now this is our circuit. Now the input current, instead of supplying from the supply, the input current is going to ground. So this is known as sink. Now the current mirror we can design using source or sink. Usually for NPN transistor, so this is NPN, we use source. For PNP, we prefer to use current sink. If the circuit, if we need to design using PNP transistor, then we need to use this sink configuration. Now in current source, now we need to study the current source. What is current source? So now we have mentioned we need to study current source, and this current source either current sink or current source. So what is the function of this current source? The maintain a constant current at infinite output resistance under all operating condition. What that means? So that means we need to design an ideal current source. This is I in. If we input current, if we change the voltage across current source, if it varies, but the current remain constant. So if it is the ideal current source. But if it is non-ideal, if the voltage varies, the current may be varies with variation of voltage across current source, voltage across this current source. So in that case, there is a finite resistance across this current source. So our target is to design a current source to have high output resistance, and current source used as a biasing element, as a load for amplifying stage, more economical than resistor in IC. So there are, in the BJT, there are 4 types of current source: the basic current source, modified current source, Wilder current source, and Wilson current source. So now we are going to study one by one of this current source. So now, as I mentioned, so we need to replace this voltage, the resistance using transistor. Let me copy this circuit. So this is, now we need to replace, because as I mentioned, if we introduce current source, we don't need. For example, as I mentioned, current source also acts as a load, because this resistance also high, so we can replace with the active resistance. Now let us see how the transistor is act as a resistance. So this is a BJT transistor. This is base to emitter. And now if we connect this base and collector shorted. Now in this case, VCE equal to VBE. Now when it is connected in this fashion, this is equivalent to resistance. That means this resistance can be converted to this transistor configuration. So let us see how it acts as a resistance. So this is our different characteristics for different input voltage. If we change the input voltage, which is IB is directly proportional to input voltage. So base current, so we can write in terms of input voltage. So now, as I mentioned, so BBE1, where the input voltage is very low, our collector current also BB1. So this is BB1. Then if we increase BB2, then VCE also BB2. So here, similarly, B3 also B3. So that means, and also below threshold, this is 0. Now it shows that when the voltage across this terminal VCE changes, then our collector current also, this current, if we variable voltage, if we varies from 0 to after threshold voltage increase, then collector current also increase. So it shows that it is very similar to Ohm's law. So IC is directly proportional to VCE, so which is satisfy our Ohm's law. So then, therefore, this configuration we may consider is a equivalent to resistance. Now we need to study the basic current source. So what is basic current source? So basic current source is, as I mentioned, this is our one resistance. Now this is previous diagram. This is equivalent to R2. So this is R1. This is R2, potential divider, and we supply to this transistor. So now R2 is replaced by Q1 transistor. So now this is basic configuration. Now we need to design. For example, we need to supply certain amount of, so this, now for example, we need to apply ICQ is equal to 5 microampere to this transistor circuit, So my bias current is 5 micro. What I can do, as I mentioned, I need to design ICQ is equal to 5 micro. So how we apply connect? So now what I can do? So I am going to connect here, and this is our input signal, VI, and so this is our load resistance. So now, so therefore we don't need R1, R2, and so on. So now we connect this output to this. So now, therefore, we need to design this configuration. Design means we need to design this circuit so that this circuit will deliver 5 microampere current. So in this case, that means we need to find what is the value of R1 to deliver 5 microampere. So now how can we solve this one? I make it more general circuit. So I use another, instead of ground, I use minus VE. So my target is to find R1. So how to find R1? So we need to apply KVL. If we apply KVL, then I can write VCC equal to IR R1 plus BB2 BBE2 minus VE. So therefore, R1 is equal to VCC plus VE power supply minus BBE2 divided by IR. Now, but when in order to find R1, then we found that this IR is unknown to us. So therefore, we need to find the value of IR. Now, how can we find this IR? So there is now output current. So this current, output current, is some relation with IR. If you find this relation, because we know the output current is equal to 5 microampere. Then if you can manage to find this current relation, then we can find the value of R1. Now, how to solve this one? We need now this configuration. This is connected to both emitter are connected to same point. So then this BBE and BBE2, they are equal. So for this particular configuration, it is shown that BB1 is equal to BB2. And if you assume then both the transistors are equal, identical, then we consider beta 1 equal to beta 2 equal to beta. Then therefore IB1 equal to IB2. Base current for both the transistors are same because of same input voltage. And also we know IC is equal to IB1 beta times IB. In this case, IC1 is equal to IC2. So now IC2 and IC1 are equal. So now from this circuit, then if you can find the relation between IC1 and IR, then we can solve. Now if we apply KCL to this node, then IR, this current is equal to this current plus this current. But what is this current? This current again is divided IB1 and IB2. So this current is equal to IB1 plus IB2. So now I can write IR is equal to IC1 plus IB1 plus IB2. So now I can write IC1 plus IB1, because as I mentioned, IB1 equal to IB2 due to BBE1 is equal to BBE2. So now I can write IC1 plus 2 IC1 divided by beta. So IC1 1 plus 2 times beta is equal to IC2 1 plus 2 times beta is equal to IC2 is equal to IR 1 plus 2 times beta. So now we found the relation between IR and I naught. So now, or we can write in terms of I naught, IR 1 plus 2 times beta. So now we know this one, we know beta, then we can calculate IR. If we calculate IR, then we can calculate the value of R1. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now we know, so this is how we derive. So we derive based on KCL, and we found this one. But actually the current mirror, we need the current mirror, that output supposed to equal to IR. But this configuration shows that this is not I naught equal to IR. But if beta is very large, or we mentioned very large, then we can get is equal to IR, because beta is denominator, so 2 divided with very large number is equal to very small, so we can get very perfect current output. So now this is how we can design. Design means we need to find the value of IR, which is known as reference current, and based on this reference current we can find. Now let us see one example. So this is the problem. So what is it mentioned? Design the basic current source. This is the basic current source to give an output current of 5 microampere. The transistor parameters are beta, supply voltage 30, BBE1, BB2, and because BB1 and also VCE1 also same is equal to 0.07. And early voltage is 150. So we see the first part. So how to design? Then we know that R1 is equal to VCC, because VE is 0 minus BBE1 divided by IR. So now what is IR? We have already derived the relation 1 I0 1 plus 2 divided by beta 5 micro 1 plus 2 divided by 100. So it becomes 5.1 micro. Now R1 will substitute 30 minus 0.7 divided by 5.1 micro. Then it is equal to how much? Let me find from the solution. So it comes with 30 mega ohm. That means we need 30 mega ohm of resistance. Also for integrated circuit, we don't prefer this, so we can replace with transistor. I'll show later. So the next problem mentioned, calculate the output resistance R0 and the collector current ratio if VC is equal to 20 volt. That means we need to find R0. So R0 means the output resistance looking into this location, small signal equivalent. So later on, I'll draw this equivalent circuit, but we don't need to derive this equivalent circuit. This R0 is usually for this configuration, output resistance is equal to small signal output, which is VA over ICQ. So this is the output resistance. So we can apply this formulation. But the next question mentioned, find the collector current ratio, IC2 over IC1, or I can write IC1 over IC2. So previously we have mentioned IC1 is equal to IC2. In that case, we consider the VA is equal to infinity. But this problem mentioned, we need to consider VA is equal to 150. If you consider 150, then what is the ratio of these two current variation? So now we know the IC is equal to this reverse saturation current EVBE by VT minus 1 plus VCE over VA. So this is the general current, and since this quantity is very, very large, so we can write IS is equal to EBB VT 1 plus VCE divided by VA. So now let us substitute this equation, IC1 versus IC2 versus IC1. So IS, because both the EBE2 divided by VT 1 plus VCE2 divided by VA divided by IS BB e to the power base 2 emitter voltage 1 divided by VT 1 plus VCE1 divided by VA. So since these two transistors are identical, saturation current are same, and as I mentioned, BBE1 equal to BB2, so this quantity gone. So now we have some 1 plus VCE2 divided by VA 1 plus, or I can write 1 plus VCE2 divided by VA, and this is VCE1 is equal to VA. So now if the currents, if this is not equal, A is not infinite, then there is some deviation which is not equal. So if you calculate, then I don't go, if you calculate, then it shows that This is around 1.128. So this much variation. So now we know how to design a basic current source and how to find this variation and how to find output resistance. Now, if I ask you to draw the small signal equivalent circuit for this basic current source, then what we need to do? We need to VCC to ground. So VCC to ground. So this is connected to ground. And this is already grounded. And we need to convert base to emitter. There is a R pi 1 and base to emitter to R pi 2. They are connected. And also collected to emitter, there is a current source. And parallel to output resistance. So beta into IB1. And also there is a current source parallel with resistance, which is beta times IB2. So now also this is connected to ground. So now this is our equivalent circuit. After drawing this equivalent circuit, we need to remove this part. Remove these components. So then it becomes equivalent circuit diagram. So if we need to find the equivalent resistance at this point, which we are not going to find, then we need to apply voltage source Vx and apply Ix to calculate. So now if we can look at the nice diagram of this circuit. So if I redraw, so this is our output terminal. The same circuit, just need to rearrange. It is not necessary to rearrange to this particular way. So now we have studied the first configuration, which is basic current amplifier. Now we have observed that this basic current source is not truly current mirror. There is some deviation, reference current and output current. So therefore, we need to modify this circuit to make our better response. So what is better response? So now we change this diagram, which is known as modified current source. This is known as modified current source. So what is the modification we have seen here? What is the modification we have seen? So previously base to emitter are connected. Now in between there is another transistor. So then we can make it general. So minus VE. So again, you need to design this current source. So how to design? That means we need to find the value of R1. How to find this R1? Again, we need to apply KVL. So we can go through these so this is a complete loop. If we go through this loop, VCC is equal to IR R1 plus BBE3 plus BBE2 minus BE. So now from there, R1 is equal to VCC plus VE minus BBE2 minus BBE3 divided by RR. So now we have additional term here because of extra transistor. So now in this case also we need to find the relation between IR and I0. I0, which is the IQ or biasing current. So how to solve this one? So now we need to solve this one. Now again, it shows that BBE1 equal to BBE2. So therefore, IB1 equal to IB2. If it is IB1 equal to IB2, then IC1 equal to IC2, which is the output current or IQ. Because BBE1 equal to BBE2. And also we consider VA is equal to infinite. So, and all the transistors are identical. That means beta 1 equal to beta 2 is equal to beta 3 equal to beta. So now based on this, we can state this one. Now we need to find the relationship. Now again, if we previously we have applied KCL at this node. If we apply KCL at this node, then IR is equal to IC1 plus IB3. So IC1 plus IB3. So now we need to find the value of IB3. And how we can find? So let us see. So what is, now if we look at here, this node, then if we apply KCL, this is KCL at this node, then IE3 is equal to IB1 plus IB2. So IB1, IE3 is equal to. So now there is a relation between IE3 and IB3, and this is also related to collector current. So now we have reached to this position, so to IB1. So now we can write IE3 is equal to. Now also based on our knowledge, we can write IE3 is equal to 1 plus beta times IB3. So because we know this relation. So now, so therefore we can write IR is equal to IC1 plus IB3, and from this relation we can write IC1 plus IE3 divided by 1 plus beta. So So from this, we substitute this one. But we have already mentioned that IC1 and IE3 is equal to, we have already mentioned, this is 2IB1, 1 plus beta from this location. So now if we satisfy, then I can write IC1 plus 2 IC1 divided by beta 1 plus beta. So therefore IR is equal to IC1 1 plus 2 times beta. So is equal to I naught. So now we come, so we now we know the relation, which is the relation between output current and the reference current. Now, if we look at this equation, so there is, so when we modify, then we have introduced this factor. If we introduce this factor, this is a denominator, then this one is very much close to IR. So now it is much better current source design compared to the previous one. So what is the output resistance? Although we don't do complicated analysis for this circuit, so we use this relation. This is also same as previous circuit. So this is the output resistance. Now let us try to solve some problem. What is problem? So same problem, we go to this. So what is the problem? Now here, just copy this one, paste. So these are same parameters, and we need to design. That means we need to find the value of R1. How to find R1? R1 is equal to BCC minus BBE1 minus BBE3 divided by IR. Now what is IR? Now IR, we have mentioned I naught 1 plus 2 times beta 1 plus beta. Now if we substitute this value 5 1 plus 200 into 1 plus 100. So then if we calculate, this is almost equal to 50 microampere. In my previous calculation, supposed to be, so not probably this is not equal to 30. Not equal to 30. So you can check this result. Then we can calculate. If we know this one, then we can find R1 is equal to 30 minus 0.7 minus 0.7 divided by 5.0 micro. Let me check what is the answer. 5.72. Okay, you can easily calculate. So I am not going to push. Now this is the first part of this problem. What is the second part? Calculate the output resistance. As I mentioned, output resistance is equal to VA over IQ. VA is equal to 150 divided by IQ is equal to 5 micro. So this is the output resistance. And what is the collector current ratio? Collector current ratio last time we have derived IC2 divided by IC1. IC1. So 1 plus VCE2 divided by VA. 1 plus VCE1 divided by VA. 1 plus VCE2 divided by VA. VC2 is given in the problem. Now, what is the value of VCE1 for this particular case? This is VCE1. And VCE1, if we apply KVL to this loop, so VCE1 is equal to BBE3 plus BBE1. So we can write BBE3 plus BBE1 divided by PA. So now we have additional term because there are two transistors. So we have two BBE, 3 additional term here in the case of this ratio and also here. So this is the additional because of two transistor. So now I have gone through very quickly. So this current source, and if I ask you to draw the small signal equivalent circuit for this configuration, what you need to do? Just so this is now just keeping the circuit and adding base to emitter R1, R2, this is connected. And also if I draw here this transistor R5, 3. And this, then we have collector to emitter, we have again current source and output resistance. And here we have again current source and output resistance. And here, so here we have current source and output resistance. So now this is connected, this is connected, this is connected, and this is ground, and this is the output terminal. And resistance, and this is connected to ground. So now this is the equivalent circuit after removing this. Now we need to erase this transistor by eraser, but I don't have the ink, so I cannot. I have the ink, but I cannot find the white color. Oh, white color is there. So then I can, but this is white color is showing the gray. Okay. it shows the gray. So this is supposed to be so if I erase, this is not, oh, cannot see that. So now if I erase, then so this is so I can erase this one. So this is no one. So now we know how to draw the equivalent circuit and how to find. So now if we summarize, so we have two transistor, basic, and the three transistor, modified, and this is current source. So this is two, and we know the relation I naught equal to I reference 1 plus 2 times beta, and I naught equal to I reference 1 plus 2 times beta, 1 plus beta. So it is much better compared to this one. Then if you consider the R1 resistance, VCC plus BE minus VBE1 divided by IR, and R2 is equal to VCC plus BE minus VBE1 minus BBE2 or 3 BBE3 divided by IR. And if VA is not equal to infinity, then IC2 over IC1, 1 plus PCE2 divided by VA, 1 plus, and here IC2, 1 plus VCE2 over VA, 1 plus VBE1 plus VBE3 divided by VA. So this is additional term here and additional term here. So this is the deviation. Now, before wrap up our class, so we are going to organize, take a quiz